Hi, welcome into a new season of Sports Bar. I'm your host, Travis Stanley. And today I'm joined with panelists Jack, Greg, and Sam. Guys, so far, what's your impressions been of kind of the start of predominantly the football season, but I guess really the sports season since the academic year started back?
Well, I think it's been a good year so far for App State. I think they really came out strong against Tennessee. And then the other day, they came out really strong against Old Dominion and played a really good game. And I think we're going to have a really good football season this year.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've definitely got a lot to cover, so we'll go ahead and jump right to that. So you mentioned the Tennessee game. Personally, I was at that game, and I was talking to some of you before this show started that my expectations for that game was mainly for us to compete. But how did you guys feel at the conclusion of that game? Frankly, a game that turned out to be a heartbreaker.
Yeah,
I think we definitely competed. I think App State definitely competed in that game. I think there were some mistakes that were made, but I think what we did do is show that there were some chinks in the SEC armor. There's this idea that some of those teams are untouchable. I think App State showed very well that those teams are touchable, that they can be taken down.
Yeah, and personally, I thought it showed that Josh Dobbs, outside of that one long bomb he had down the left sideline, he beat Clifton Duck on. Frankly, I don't think he can really throw the ball that well. Do any of you share the same opinion? I mean,
yeah, I think the majority of their strength lies in their running back, Jalen Hurd. He was the one that really got into our defense and started tearing us apart in the fourth quarter. So I didn't expect us to be leading into the fourth quarter, but I was thrilled. I was really impressed and pleased with the way we went out there and played.
Coming in, me and Sam, we actually went to the game, and we were expecting to leave by at least the third quarter because we expected it to be a blowout.
As was I.
And we expected it to be just a terrible game. But once it got to about the second half, we were surrounded by Tennessee fans, and we were just amazed that App hung in there. I think Coach Satterfield stuck with his game plan of running the ball and even kind of coming out with a little different offense this year as far as the pistol and running a couple different end arounds and really getting some surprise yardage out of his running backs, Marcus Cox. So
yeah. And then moving on from 2 weeks ago, this past week, this past Saturday, the game against Old Dominion certainly opened the game very strong, both offensively and defensively. The defense played well all game long. The offense kind of stalled there in the second half. But what did you guys see out of that game?
Well, he came out firing, throwing the ball most of the first series, which really impressed me because you think about Appalachian football and it's a run first offense, but they came out and they wanted to establish themselves as an air presence early in the game, and I really enjoyed seeing that.
I think Lamb was really strong in the game. I think he made good use of his wide receivers, and yeah, I don't think Old Dominion was quite up to the task.
Yeah.
I think we just keep seeing App's defense is really what it is, and it's just a monster. I mean, they just play strong on every play. They go after the ball. As we saw, not only with Old Dominion, but also with Tennessee, I mean, once they get in the backfield, it's almost game over, and they're good at doing that on every single play.
Yeah, I would agree with what both of you said. Certainly a run first offense, but on that first play of the game, because everyone knows that the run is predominantly what we want to try to do, play action becomes a real option. And for Taylor, who doesn't really throw the ball that much, play action passes, particularly for larger gains, is really where he needs to most likely probably lie, I would say. So moving on, so far in the show we've only talked about football, but this year we're going to kind of integrate something a little new. So right now we want to share a few experiences from this past week's games that get both in Knoxville and against Old Dominion that we've shared on social media. So we're going to take a look at those. And if you are watching, don't forget that you can tag whatever it is you post at the games on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and we'll make sure to share your memories on Sports Bar. And as you can see here, we have my good friend Dylan and App.
Bang the left here.
Crowd, predominantly the Tennessee crowd leading in to that game. And I don't know, I can't speak for the two of you, but being there at Neyland Stadium, that was the largest venue that I had ever personally been inside of.
It's incredible. watching a high school football.
And that's really no discredit to Appalachian as much as it is a credit to the atmosphere of Tennessee.
From Knoxville.
And transitioning to the home game from this past Saturday, this is some of the images of tailgate. That appears to be early on in tailgate before most people kind of got there. For a whiteout game in the first game of the year, I thought we had a pretty good crowd.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
It was also exciting to see the addition of the new stands in the end zone. We've always had those stands at least the past 4 or 5 seasons, but they are enlarged this year, so I'm pretty sure the players were excited to see that as well. So, did you know that the Mountaineers have a behind-the-scenes show that follows Mountaineer football throughout the week? It's called Rise, and we have a clip of Coach Satterfield getting the team ready ahead of their season opener.
For some of you guys, it's obviously your first trip on an away game. I think some people like to make jokes, guys, first time they're playing or starting or all that, and I don't ever really worry about that with you guys that are first time playing, first time starting, all that that's going on. Because at some point in time, it was everybody sitting in here's first start, first time they played and all that as well. What happens with you, and it happens with everybody in here, whether you're a first-year player or if this is your 5th year and you've started a lot of football. But in the heat of the battle, when we start playing and things get crazy and chaotic, you revert back to what you've been trained to do. With Coach Mike and his staff in that weight room, that's why it's so hard that we go through everything in that winter program and in the summertime. That's why it's so hard. That's why we try to push your buttons to test you to the limit for times just like these. That's our one thing that we do. We play as hard as anybody in the country. Have we always been the most talented team on the field? No. But we play harder than anybody else in the country. So that's never going to change in this program. That's never going to change. That's what we do. We play hard, and we play physical. For years, man, ever since I've been here, and I got here in '91, hitting people in the mouth and playing physical is the way we win. And that hadn't changed. But for those 2 reasons, playing as hard as anybody on the field and playing the more physical than anybody on that field, and that's never going to change. It's not going to change this season. So that's what we got to do tomorrow night. That same thing. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We talk about a faceless opponent. I don't care who we're playing. These reporters ask me, now listen, I'll talk them all up, and I don't give a crap about Tennessee. I'll be honest with you. I don't care who we're playing, all right? Because all I care about is everybody in this room. These coaches that have gotten you ready to play, and you men sitting in these chairs. That's who I care about. So tomorrow night when you get out there, we're going to have fun. We're definitely going to have fun, okay? But it's going to be playing hard. It's going to be playing physical. Every chance you get, hit them. Let them know who's there. Let them know who's there. Tell them with your pads and let them know who's there, right? It's going to be a great environment. It's what you guys signed up for environments like this. It's going to be fun, man. We're going to enjoy it. Soak it all up. Soak it all in.
Guys, that was a rousing speech that Coach Satterfield gave in the hotel previous to the Tennessee game. Obviously, there are a lot of coaches speak, as far as several cliches and so on and so forth. But he does, I think, make a lot of good points. We're talking about how that, to a certain degree, you're just playing, another guy, regardless of the amount of hype around the other opponent. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, still, all these guys kind of come from the same background as far as they all played high school football, or hopefully. I mean, I don't know if there's any guys that walked on that didn't play high school football.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
I rarely do.
But, Coach Satterfield just talked about going out and playing as physical as you can and playing for the guy next to you and, just going out there and playing with everything you got. And I really think that's what App did in that Tennessee game. Definitely a really physical game, and I think they played it well.
Yeah, certainly. Don't forget that you can catch that entire Rise clip both on the App State sports website and certainly, I think it's worth a watch. I've watched the entire episode. I've watched all the episodes from the previous season. I think that segment is very well done. Kelsey Sharkey in the athletics department handles that, and she does a very good job with that. Now moving on, we've spent a bunch of time talking about Mountaineer football, but we should also highlight other sports as well, and we're going to highlight cheerleading. This week, we're going to show you a video shot and edited by our producer, Carlin Brock, highlighting the App State cheerleading team and their summer training program.
My name is Coach Morgan Robertson. I'm starting my third season here at Appalachian State. I cheered here before I became the coach. We have summer workouts to help train the athletes and to have them come together as a team. This is a critical time for them to bond and kind of learn each other before our season starts. For our summer practices, mainly, we start each practice with a mile run, and they get timed. We do a lot of preparation for game day. And we'll go over motion placement and our fight song and all the main kind of ideas for cheerleading in a collegiate football game or a basketball game. Then we'll have stunt practice and work on technique, and it's mainly building strength, starting off with the basic skills, working our way up to the more elite skills. We'll go into tumbling, and they'll have a rep of doing standing tucks or back handsprings and then running tumbling, just to make sure that they are staying in shape, staying up with their skills from what they tried out with, and maintaining their abilities for the season to come.
Hey guys, my name is Alicia. I am 19 and this will be my third year on the team. So our program has the opportunity to go to UCA camps. Last year we went to East Tennessee. This year we have the privilege of going there again. The thing is, when we go there, we look at these core staff and these college staff members as role models to us. They show us exactly how to act and really show us what it's like to be on the sidelines of a college team. It's completely different making that transfer to high school to college, but they do a really great job of showing us what you need to look like, the attitude, and how you need to show yourself in front of everyone.
Other universities go there, like the University of Kentucky, Wisconsin, WKU, East Tennessee goes, Tennessee.
App State Cheer means a ton to me. Like I said, this is my third year on the team and I'm completely blessed to be here. The thing is that it gives me a home here, away from home. Like, these people, I'm with them 24/7. I know that they have my back. They're gonna be my friends for my life. They're gonna be in my wedding one day. We're gonna raise our kids together. But this program is so great, and I know that everybody's supporting each other throughout the entire day.
And that was certainly an interesting look, behind the scenes of App Cheerleading. They travel just like anyone else with the football team, and I think that they're just as much athletes as anyone else. Obviously, as you can see from the video, the training, the off-season workouts, and things of that nature. Moving on to national sports, our favorite topic, the NFL. We can't talk about the NFL without bringing up the big game rematch between Denver and Carolina. And guys, I mean, I'm a Carolina fan. I'm not exactly sure where you guys stand as far as, fandom. But that being said, watching that game was certainly kind of a heartbreaker, but didn't make me feel that bad because, quite frankly, I mean, you're playing the defending Super Bowl champions, and you put yourself in a good position to win the game.
Yeah, I really thought the last drive of the game was really what was going to seal it for us. I thought Cam put us in a good position. Got lucky with a couple calls, I think, especially that last defensive call with the hands. I thought a couple things, and Graham Gano lined up for the kick, and just, his first one, he got a practice one in, and just icing the kicker, it worked.
Yeah.
Every now and then,
Hit the first one.
Hit the first one, and the coaches ices him, and that's just it.
Yeah. I mean, from a defensive side of the ball, in the secondary, I thought that not having Norman really coming into this season, watching Bradbury, the other guys, I really felt that Carolina would be okay in the secondary, but I do have certainly more questions now than I did before watching that game, because frankly, playing Trevor Siemian, I don't know what his NFL career will end up being, and they did pick him off twice, but I thought he played very well and did expose a lot of issues that Carolina might have the rest of the season.
I think they still have some things they need to iron out as far as the secondary goes, but I thought they did a really nice job with next man up. Still looking for that franchise player to replace Josh Norman, but I think they have some guys some puzzle pieces that they could really plug into the defense and work really well as the season progresses.
Yeah, and moving on from kind of, I guess, the play, really the calls on the field, or the lack thereof. I thought Cam, was hitting the head repeatedly, and yes, obviously it's a very quick sport, bang bang plays, but I mean, how do you guys feel? Because I personally believe there was certainly some missed calls.
He definitely took some helmet-to-helmet hits, and I think Newton responded very resiliently, but there were some penalties that should have been called there.
I think you also have to look at not only, helmet-to-helmet hits will happen. It's football, but we also have to look at the intent of the hit. And a lot of those hits that were taken on Cam, some of them look kind of malicious, as if they were trying to take Cam out of the game.
More of a spearing situation.
Yeah, more of a spearing, top of the head, like they were just trying to hurt him. And I think in that situation, there definitely needs to be some type of penalty, a flag needs to be thrown, or even the NFL, Roger Goodell needs to step in and give out fines, or say, guys, we're trying to play a better game here.
Yeah, and that raises the question, is there a double standard against players like Cam Newton and other very large quarterbacks who are considered very athletic and just, I guess, better equipped to handle those kind of hits? But, I mean, frankly, no one's equipped to handle hits to the head regardless of your position.
Well, even though he's a bigger guy, you could obviously, after the last one, he laid on the ground for a couple seconds. He was obviously shaken, so there was obviously a problem there. But with other quarterbacks in the league, Tom Brady takes a hit like that, flags are flying everywhere, mostly because he is the face of the NFL. But, Cam Newton takes one. He's built like a tight end or a middle linebacker. Most people think he can take it, but obviously, your brain is a gentle thing, and enough hits to the head can affect anybody.
And transitioning from actual football to fantasy football, this year we have started a fantasy football league here on the show, and both with people on camera and off camera, Rob. But there's still a chance for some people to possibly make an upset with tonight's Monday night games. But let's take a look at this week's scores. As you can see, I am Cam, and I'm playing our producer, Carlin. Luckily, Carlin is having not so good of a week. I'm not having the best of weeks, but we'll see how that one turns out. Our producer, or one of our producers, Rob, I love his name. He's currently edging Jack right now. We'll see if that plays out. You were saying, Jack, that unless Rob has like 3 fumbles tonight or something.
Yeah, I think Rob definitely has it. I have no more players left to play. Rob has 1 with Todd Gurley, and unless Todd Gurley has the worst game of his NFL career, and where he gives up 3 fumbles and then somehow runs it into his own end zone, I don't think I'll have a chance tonight.
Yeah, and then one of our other panelists, Joey, he is currently leading Adam Witten, the new broadcaster here at Appalachian, and Sam, you, and Greg are currently in a tight one.
He's got it though. I'm out of players. He's got one left tonight, but I got some players that were injured this week. So when they come back, I think
He's got a bunch of Patriots players. I could be in trouble.
Yeah,
I could be
yeah.
in trouble
So.
in a couple games.
Possibly down the line.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you might take it. Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have on this week's program. Thanks for joining us, and make sure to follow App TV on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook. We'll see you here the same time next week for a new episode of Sports Bar. Good night.